So if you were already feeling confident with your exponent rules, then you can absolutely skip those previous review videos. But again, if you're having any trouble with any of these exponent rules, please review those videos. Or if those videos are kind of confusing, absolutely just go to Khan Academy and look up, I would say look up maybe exponent rules or exponent properties. And there, hopefully, Sal Khan can explain those rules in a clearer way than I can. Because, again, you're going to need to know these rules really, really well. You're going to need to know these rules in your bones, right? Because the properties of logarithms are going to come from these rules. All right, so let's jump to an example here. Enough talking. Here I want to simplify this quotient of exponentials. So here I have base 8 to the power of 3x plus 1 over base 2 to the power of 9x plus 6. Now, to simplify this, first what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to realize that 8 is really just a power of 2. That's the only way we can start to simplify this, because here 8 and 2, we might initially be discouraged here, right? We might initially be discouraged at looking at this example because all of our exponent rules can only be applied if we have the same base, and here it looks like we have different bases. So what we're going to do here is we are going to recognize that the number 8 we can write as base 2. So the number 8 here, we can say, the number 8 is really just 2 to the power of 3. So this is our first way in to start to simplify this problem. Instead of writing base 8 here to the power of 3x plus 1, I'm going to write base 2 to the power of 3. Right? That really just is 8. And to what power am I going to raise this base? Well, to the power of 3x plus 1. So here I have 8 to the power of 3x plus 1. That's over 2 to the 9x plus 6. Again, typically what we call this sort of move is a change of base, to perform a change of base. And this will allow us now to apply the quotient rule. But to apply the quotient rule, we're first going to need to simplify this exponential on top, and we can simplify this using our power of a power rule. So I'm going to make some more room over here. 2 to the power of 3, all raised to the 3 minus 1 power. What do we do with the exponent on the inside of the brackets and the exponent on the outside of the brackets? Well, we take the product of those exponents. So this is going to be 2 to the power of 3 times 3x plus 1, all over 2 to the 9x plus 6. You don't have to show all of these steps. I'm just showing these steps explicitly because it's our first example. Now here we can apply the distributive property to this multiplication. Right? We have a monomial times a binomial. That's just going to, after applying the distributive property, that's just going to be 2 to the 9x plus 3 over 2 to the 9x plus 6. Now what we can do is we can apply, I'll just write down what I'm applying here. I'm applying the quotient rule. This is just going to be all the same base now, just base 2. And we will take the exponent on top. According to the quotient rule, we take our exponent on top, 9x plus 3. And we subtract from that the exponent on the bottom. That's what the quotient rule tells us to do. And be sure to, this helps me anyways, what I would do is I would be sure to write this exponent on the bottom in brackets just to remind myself that this negative sign, it applies to both of these terms, right? if you forget, or if you don't write these brackets, you might write your next statement like this, in which case this would actually be wrong, right? Here I have 9x plus 3 minus 9x and then plus 6, but really I'm subtracting the whole binomial. So what this should actually simplify to, I'm going to make some more room here, what this should actually simplify to is 2 to the 9x plus 3 minus 9x minus 6. And then after collecting like terms here, 9x minus 9x is 0. 3 minus 6 is just negative 3. And typically for our final answer, we would like to write with a positive exponent. But you know, if you don't do that, then that's totally fine. You could write this as 2 to the negative 3 power, or you could write this as 1 over 2 to the positive 3 power, or you could write this as actually 1 over 8, if you like, because 2 to the 3 is really just 8. So all of these answers are equivalent, and in my mind, equally simple. You might have different teachers in different courses that have different preferences for their final answer, but any of these three would be correct for me. And we will try the next example in our next video.